For those that don't know me, I'm Braden Young and I'm a Coppell alumni. And not only that, I had the amazing opportunity to grow up in Coppell, and I've been in Coppell ISD since kindergarten. Now, with growing up in Coppell, I know that there are so many amazing teachers, and I've had so many amazing teachers that have really inspired and changed my life. And one of those teachers that comes to mind was my 5th grade teacher. You see, he was very personable, very outgoing, fun, and energetic, but as well as that, I felt that I could be myself in his classroom. Now, this teacher is Mr. Ewbank, or Malachi Ewbank. So Mr. Ewbank, thank you. You really inspired me to be a teacher. I love being in your classroom. Aside from you giving nicknames to all the students to create an even more personal bond, I knew that I could be myself in your classroom. I knew that I was always ready to learn, and not only that, but excited to learn because you made learning fun. To all the other teachers I've had and all the other teachers in Coppell ISD, I'm so thankful for you. You might not be able to see the lives that you changed, but Mr. Ewbank, you changed my life, and I'm so thankful for you.
My relationship with Deana Dynis has certainly helped mold me into the educator I am today. But most definitely it has helped mold and shape me into the human being I am today. When I think back 20 or so years ago, when Deana and I first started teaching together at Cottonwood Creek Elementary, I remember very fondly our somewhat daily conversations where we would visit one another and just talk about life. The one thing that I can tell you from all those conversations that will forever be imprinted on my heart is this. She sees people. And by that I mean, when I first started teaching, I kind of thought maybe the deck would be stacked against me. From Colorado, hoop earrings, different color of skin than most of the people in the building, different gender. But she didn't see those as a double standard. She saw them as assets. And for that, I will always be thankful, because that translates into the classroom as we are cultural assets. We're ethnic assets. We are assets just as human beings. And I think there couldn't have been a more powerful message. And so for that, I say thank you. There are certainly many, many lessons I've learned about relationships from Deana over the years. And if I had to narrow it down into one central idea, I would say that vulnerability is probably for me, the most important facet of a relationship. And as I've learned from her, if you don't put skin in the game, right, the relationship won't go very far, because it only moves forward with a mutual understanding that vulnerability is an aspect, it's an attribute that all parties share in order for it to be real. And so we don't get very far unless we're willing to say, this is me and this is who I am.
When I think about relationships, one of the things that I think is so significant and important about our noble profession is the fact that we are helping people become better people. We are helping our learners become the person they're going to be. And when we approach it with a growth mindset, and we've really worked to build a relationship with learners that is long-lasting, it is the privilege of a lifetime to watch them grow into the people that they're going to become, and to know that we had a hand in helping them materialize their dreams. When I think about the people that I work closely with and how we push one another to be better, to do better, that's what organizational improvement is really all about. It's about the quality of the people in the organization. It's not about an increase in test scores. It's not about the next big thing. It's about us working together to hone our craft and our skills, and to have an impact that lasts well beyond us. But none of that can be done without the power of the relationships that we build with one another. When I think about Braden, Braden was a student when I first met him, and what I remember about him most as a young person was his sensitivity to what was happening around him. And while he wasn't willing to compromise his principles, he wanted to be empathetic and be a peacemaker with those around him. And I think that those characteristics will serve him well as he now steps into a third grade classroom at Canyon Ranch Elementary and has the opportunity to influence learners in that setting. I have always admired his willingness to speak out and speak with compassion to others who maybe just didn't agree with his point of view, his willingness to listen. And I think that that's a sign of a real leader, is doing more listening than talking. And I know that he's going to do amazing things in his classroom.